the Chuck Brown Band kicks off Multifest by bringing the beat as part of the festival's Go-Go Night. Brown is known to many as the godfather of go-go. Although he passed away in 2012, his children continue to perform in his memory. 13 News photojournalist Daniel Harris has a look at the legacy Brown left behind.
Yes, we are live there, and you know who's headlining the show? The Chuck Brown Band. Let's get into it, man. It's busting loose on the all-new 107.3 The Beat.
Get what you need, y'all.
Rhythmic music that makes you want to dance.
It has that African beat, that one particular beat.
One thing for sure, two things are certain. You're going to get up and dance.
My father, he created go-go music, and it started out as a sound for himself, and then it became a sound for the town. As a child, I grew up listening to Chuck Brown.
That go-go song, I promise it's going to bring a smile to your face.
It's homegrown to DMV, and you don't hear nothing like go-go. And people flock to him when he will play in certain areas, certain events. And it's here to stay. It's the official music of Washington, D.C. His children carry on the legacy. That's very special to me. Charleston, get ready. Go have a good time. Whatever you do, big or small, do it well or don't do it at all. Show you right.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. Multifest is happening soon. You can see the band perform tomorrow night at Haddad Riverfront Park, helping to kick off Multifest.
Welcome back. Get ready to journey out of this world with a local band as they celebrate 50 years this weekend. From performing right here in Charleston to overseas in Europe, the band Stratus is carrying their beat across the world. Ahead of a celebration Saturday, photojournalist Daniel Harris and director Taylor Patterson bring us back to where the band's journey began.
We're just poor boys out of Washington Manor, and someplace like that. And we got a chance to see the world.
What really made a big deal is when we went to Michigan and picked up Joe Lord and Mike Burke.
And long story short, they were looking for a drummer. I was ready to get out of the cold, so I came down here.
Growing up, I remember watching these guys at a pool party. It was like, man, it must be great to play with these guys.
You can see the love that these guys have for one another and the love they all share for music.
We was more like a social club.
And we played everywhere.
Then we went on as pop music got to popping.
I found out that we could qualify to go across seas.
They gave us 2 weeks' notice to go to Saudi Arabia during Desert Storm, so we went. We're the first band to play on Saudi Arabian soil.
People were excited to see us, an American band, an African-American band as well.
We quickly realized that we were ambassadors.
They were very appreciative because we were from the States and we were good.
They took me under their wing. You know, David taught me everything about jazz music and funk music. I'd never even heard funk music till I got into this band.
A lot of talent here, a lot of great musicians that I've ran into, and I'm glad to be able to, bring some of that energy to West Virginia.
That's a testament to the strength of our music.
Hope we got a few more years that we can entertain the city.
You can check out Stratus tomorrow, Saturday, at the Benny Keatum Temple in downtown Charleston. If the name sounds familiar to you, they're often at Live on the Levee and all sorts of local events, and they are just lovely.
Well, history was made as Alexandria, Virginia native Earl Lloyd was the first African-American to play in the NBA for the Washington Capitals in October of 1950. Now, this game helped open doors for many African-American players to play in the league. And Lloyd passed away in February of 2015, but he leaves a legacy of first. WOWK photojournalist and Fairfax native Daniel Harris has his story.
He did it all, in the NBA ring, scout, to coach, to player.
Elaborate the manner that he comported himself, not just as an athlete or a basketball player, but a true trailblazer, elegant, intelligent, gifted, let the system know that we can do things that they did not think we could do.
From his hometown in Alexandria, Virginia, Earl Lloyd's career took him all across the country, where he broke barriers with every step. But before the NBA, his journey started in a small town of Institute.
The first time I set foot on this campus, I knew, I said, this is going to be a hell of a fit.
Earl quickly established himself as a force on the court.
He was a defensive, rebounding, plays hard, runs the floor. He was that kind of player at that time.
In 1950, 2 years after a championship season at West Virginia State, Lloyd was one of 3 African Americans to be drafted in the NBA 4 years after the league was established.
As a 9th round pick, as a guy that's like, I'm gonna make it, people don't believe in me, I'm gonna integrate the sport, how do I get along with everyone else? There's stuff that happens off the court.
One of the things that people don't realize, but Mr. Earl Lloyd played with a team called the Washington Capitals. And that team was a forerunner of the great Boston Celtics teams with Red Auerbach.
His dream was met with challenges on and off the court as he navigated a Jim Crow America.
When you're the only or the first, you don't get the benefit of blending in.
You couldn't stay in the hotel with your teammates. They had to find other arrangements. He was hearing the N-word or getting spit on, and nothing you can do, it fueled him. And he'd take that fuel and take it out on the other team. And my father says that the pain never left, but he forgave but never forgot.
Sacrificing his innate basketball talent when they wanted black players, Mr. Earl Lloyd, Mr. Chuck Cooper, Mr. Nat Sweetwater Clifton, to come in and be defensive players, not let their innate overall basketball talent be one that would be seen in white basketball.
You know, those guys looked out for each other. Whenever they would go to the other person's city to play a game, they made sure that those guys were taken care of. And
find out what was going on in the city and show up at one of the little speakeasies, the little jazz clubs, restaurant, walk in, and he was a superstar, the only black player in the NBA.
After retiring from the league in 1961, Earl continued to break the mold. He became the first black bench coach and scout. And when he finally decided to retire, the work became a labor of love.
To this day, if you go to my old neighborhood, we are grown now. I'm good and grown. And you miss Earl Lloyd, man, he got me a scholarship to something, on North Carolina A&T or Tennessee State or whatever school it may be. He had ties to a lot of schools.
Lloyd passed away in 2015. And in those 10 years, his determination serves as an inspiration to others.
I mean, all you can say is make a blanket thing. I love you. I appreciate you being here. And I hope to get back here sometime soon. Thank you very much.
In Institute, Daniel Harris, 13 News.
All right, Earl Lloyd was inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in 2003. Over in Alexandria, Lloyd has a street dedicated to him in his honor. And in 2021, a statue ceremony was held at Charles Houston Community Center in downtown Alexandria, formerly Parker Gray High School, which he attended.
A woman from Charleston is inspiring young minds, encouraging students at one local elementary school to find joy in reading. 13 News anchor Rachel Pellegrino shows us how through books, children can rise above and achieve their dreams.
Books are free today. Come get a book for free. Come get a book.
This is Ellen Bullock, or as the students like to call her, the book lady. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, she stands in the hallway of Mary C. Snow Elementary School with her cart of books.
These are the chapter books over here if you want. There's graphic novels.
Twice a week, the books cost 25 cents, but on Fridays, they're free.
Books are free today, guys.
It might not seem like much, but Bullock says buying the books makes them worth more to students.
The kids have been funny about that. One kid came in one morning and he's limping down the hallway, and I thought, what happened? And he sits down, takes his shoe off, and he pours out 25 pennies. And he put them in his shoes because he said, I didn't want to lose any. And I've been paid with 2 dimes and a nickel stuck together in chewing gum with pocket lint all over it.
With stories like these, Bullock says she always leaves with a big smile. And although painfully honest at times, she says the kids are curious, even discerning in their book choices. And Bullock hopes the students enjoy the books just as much as she enjoys sharing the stories.
Yeah, my husband and I spend a lot of our own money, more than he knows, I'm afraid. But I just think it's worth it, you know, to get them reading, get them excited about it. I was one of those kids who read under the covers when I was little.
Students can choose out of various genres with books up to the 5th grade reading level. But Bullock says it doesn't matter what they're reading. The goal is to get students learning.
I used to try and get redeeming books like the classics, and they weren't interested in that. And so I'll get whatever they'll read, because the important thing is they're reading, they're learning sentence structure, they're learning vocabulary, punctuation, grammar, you know, and they don't realize it because they're enjoying the story.
According to West Virginia state assessments, about 45% of students are proficient in reading, which is a 1% increase from the 2022-23 academic year. Bullock says not being able to read limits your options and makes it harder to achieve your goals.
Up to the 4th grade, they're learning to read. After the 4th grade, if they can't read, they have a harder time learning because they have to read in order to learn the material, and they struggle through school. There's a much higher dropout rate, higher levels of living in poverty, low-income jobs.
The initiative to get more students reading started over 2 decades ago at Chandler Elementary School by now retired teacher Bonnie McClung. And believe it or not, the inspiration came from an empty vending machine.
They had this vending machine that didn't work, and she said, instead of selling junk, why don't we sell books? And she started collecting used books for the kids and putting them in here.
In 2013, Bullock took over the program in hope of sharing the joy of books with students and the endless possibilities reading can offer.
And this is something that's so critical, that they learn to read. If they don't learn anything else in school, just having this skill is so important.
In the future, Bullock would like to see the initiative spread to other schools.
It's just so important to get books in their hands.
Because with every turning page, a new chapter can begin, helping students rise above to achieve their dreams. Reporting in Charleston, I'm Rachel Pellegrino for 13 News.
Young women are feeling a little extra inspiration tonight after spending some time with U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito as a part of the Girls Rise Up event. This was one that was held at Clendenin Elementary School, the new school, which Senator Capito helped secure funding to rebuild after the 2016 flooding. The event is a chance to empower young women and girls to be confident, focused on their goals and their health.
It was pretty exciting to meet her too, because I also like to do science and cooking. And sometimes whenever I grow up, I imagine myself doing one of those things.
That's awesome. Keep on dreaming there and know that you can achieve anything you want. Senator Capito also took some time today to tour the new school building.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Marilee McAuliffe. Award-winning actress Halle Berry is in Charleston today, empowering the next generation of leaders and advocating for women's health. She was in our studio, but her first stop this morning, Piedmont Elementary School. Berry accompanied U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito on her school visit to promote her West Virginia Girls Rise Up program. The purpose of the initiative is to empower young women through education, physical fitness, and self-confidence.
Hopefully we did a good job convincing them they could, A, do whatever they want, but also that we're just regular people. We have children and grandchildren. We have things that we were afraid of when we were young girls. And so for them to say, well, you know, maybe I can do that.
And both ladies visited Kanawha County Library for a roundtable discussion on menopause and their efforts at the U.S. Capitol to end the stigma and win funding. Our 13 News anchor Amanda Barron sat down with both of them to talk about their initiatives. Take a listen.
Women, it's our responsibility to not beat up our doctors, to make it okay to talk about the subject, right? But it starts with us to be able to say, we demand more information, we demand more dollars in research, and we demand conversations about it.
We'll have more tonight on 13 News, but you can watch Amanda's full interview with award-winning actress Halle Berry and U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito on Inside West Virginia Politics this weekend.
It's time now for the Sports Zone.
Tomorrow is the start of the 2024 Mountain East Conference Volleyball Championship. It'll be hosted at West Virginia State University's Walker Convocation Center and Institute. On the eve of the tournament, the conference announced their volleyball awards for 2024, and the Jackets managed to take home 2 of them. Setter Kirsten Eggleton received the Player of the Year award, and head coach Avery Moore was named Coach of the Year in just her first year at the helm. Coach Moore managed to help the team become #1 seeded in the Mountain East Conference.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, we really try and grow relationships with all of our kids, and so I knew coming in, we had that many new kids, and I was a new face. We all had to kind of get used to each other. So we hang out a lot. We're pretty close. We're pretty tight. So the close-knitness of our team, I think, really carries on to the court and takes us a long ways as well. Good teams to compete against here, and we're pretty good too. So I think we've kind of proved ourselves this year, and so I'm super excited what next week looks like.
The Yellow Jackets will take on Frostburg State University in their first matchup in the tournament. That game starts tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Also in action is the #2 seeded University of Charleston volleyball team. They'll be squaring off against 3rd seeded Fairmont State in their first round matchup. The team is looking for a win after their loss to West Virginia State in the last game of the regular season. We caught up with the head coach along with senior ride side Emma Shepard, who was able to make all conference. They tell us after a successful season, they're ready to keep things moving forward.
Just staying aggressive in everything that we do, I think, is the most important thing. You know, we know what we can do. We've been practicing together since August, since preseason. We're really clean in a lot of areas defensively, our serve, receive, our block, all that stuff. But coming out and playing aggressive with energy, I think, is the biggest thing for us. And when we do that, we seem to have a lot of success.
I mean, we are just so excited with this opportunity. Yesterday at practice, we talked about how not a lot of teams are still left and not a lot of teams still have the opportunity to keep playing. So we're just really excited. Our season was awesome. We set a lot of really big goals. Some things didn't fall our way, but we just use our response and keep going.
Their matchup against Fairmont State happens tomorrow at noon.
This guy's pretty inspirational as well. Local music legend Bob Thompson's Joy to the World concert series is happening tonight. The Culture Center Theater will host his all-star band along with special guest Judith Owen, trumpeter James Moore, and New Orleans-based saxophonist Ricardo Pascal. Listeners are sure to be rocking around the Christmas tree at this big holiday party. We had a chance to speak with Bob ahead of the big night, and he says he hopes the tunes will feel just like a Christmas party.
Well, it's like coming to a big Christmas party, and that's one of the things I enjoy about music, because music brings all kinds of people together, and especially this time of year, I think it's important when people come together and in peace and harmony and have a celebration, and that's what we try to do with the show, is just celebrate the season.
Bob is so awesome. Culture Center doors open at 7:30 tonight. The show starts at 8. Day of show tickets cost $35. We'll be right back.
Let's head to Charleston for some playoff football. The University of Charleston facing Ashland University in a Division II showdown from Laidley Field. What a game it turned out to be. The fullback Nico Koski takes the handoff up the gut and breaks the plane for the Golden Eagles. Kashawn Beasley here makes a nice pass break up there against Ashland. The defense started strong. Now, Siobhan Wright's had a strong season. He gets the first down on this carry. Now, he made Division II history this season with his 37th touchdown. That's the most of any player in any single season. This is his 38th touchdown. That's a record in NCAA Division II. But the day belonged to Ashland. They break Charleston's hearts in a 40-38 barn burner, and the Golden Eagles season is over. 40-38 loss. West Virginia State made volleyball history tonight. For the first time ever, the Yellow Jackets are Mountain East volleyball champions. The win snaps a 12-year streak where Wheeling won the crown every season since the formation of the conference. But you can see the celebrations are on in Institute, where State are champions for the first time ever.
Pure joy. I'm so proud of these kids. They wanted to win so bad tonight, and they got the job done, and we protected home court all year, and so I'm super thankful and just happy to experience this with my team as the first year. It's a great way to start, but we're not done yet, so we're looking forward to what's ahead of us.
From them, it's just been unbelievable. We've been working at this for so many years, just building from a young team when I first came here, and then adding people along the way. And you know, we put up a great fight today, and just were able to come out on top, and they put up a great fight today too.
Kristen Eggleton, who you just heard from St. Albans, she was named the tournament's most outstanding player. Congratulations to the Yellow Jackets. AAA football.
Lots of activity still going on. That is the floodwaters that are slowly receding across the area. They're slowly receding in the typical creek streams and small rivers, but it is the big rivers that are going to be going up. Let's get to what's happening right now with the Weather Camera Network, and we can take a look at Chapmanville. This is where we had flash flood warnings. We also had severe thunderstorm warnings, and just to the south of here, tornado warning that was issued this morning. Grayson, Kentucky. Listen, Little Sandy has been an issue. Back over to Olive Hill, we've had the Tiger River. Tiger Creek, excuse me. That has been a problem. In Ashland, listen, big river's going up. Thankfully, not a lot, but it's going up. But you get all out here into the county, and this is where we've had lots of flooding in a number of spots. Same thing in Huntington, especially when you get back over to the Ritter Park area, Fort Pole Creek, Barbersville, same thing. We've had flooding all throughout the Barbersville area along 60. Canal River is up, and look at this. These are flood warnings almost everywhere that we are still dealing with at this hour. Speaking of somebody who's been in the flooding since early this morning, our very own Blake DeJarnett. He is in Hurricane right now. Blake, tell me what's going on and what you see right now.
Well, Brian, I'm here at the Hurricane Youth Football Field, and as you can see behind me, a portion of the field is still underwater. Now, the water levels have gone down a decent amount since we were here just a few hours ago. You're about to see footage from there wasn't a blade of grass, but we are right on the edge of the Hurricane Creek, which, as you've been mentioning, reached record levels of height due to the flash flooding. And this portion of the property is still completely submerged in water. Now, this is a devastating loss for the community. The Hurricane Youth Football Field was only built 3.5 years ago. The parking lot, along with the playground, has also taken severe water damage. At its peak, Hurricane Creek got to 18.5 feet, setting the new record. We have not received word on how the city of Hurricane is going to move forward or whether they'll try to restore the field. But one thing is certain, the flash flood is going to have long-lasting effects. You know, just further down the road on Harbor Lane, 13 people and 4 pets had to be evacuated from a mobile home community. St. Albans Fire Department, along with mutual aid from 3 other fire departments, led water rescue missions, boating to each home and taking the residents to dry land. We spoke with one woman who was evacuated, who said it was a scary morning, but she's grateful that nobody was hurt.
Definitely very scary, just like trying to get my mom and the dog out and just trying to make sure we were safe and no one was hurt. But I'm just glad we made it out, and the house can be replaced, people cannot.
The evacuated group was taken to Valley Park for shelter on a Putnam County school bus where they will wait for the floodwaters to descend. The residents I spoke with said that the water was just low enough to where it didn't get into their homes, but it was certainly still a terrifying morning. Thankfully, there were no reported injuries. Now, Hurricane City crews are currently at work on flood cleanup efforts, and there's certainly a lot of work to be done on that front. You know, again, it was a long and terrifying morning for the community of Hurricane, but thankfully there are no reported injuries. Reporting live from Hurricane, Blake DeJarnett, 13 News.
Thanks so much, Blake. Appreciate it. You were a trooper out there this morning. As he and I both came into work same time, and I mean, listen, we were going up and down, all kinds of roads, and they were a mess. Now, we've still got mess on our hands. By the way, 27 years ago, that gauge was installed in Hurricane. This is the highest it's ever been in 27 years. That creek this morning.
Thank you, Brian. The West Virginia Capitol Christmas tree stood decorated for just a few hours overnight before strong winds brought it down.
13 News reporter Blake DeJarnett is joining us now from the scene with the very latest. Good morning, Blake.
Good morning, Zach and Rachel. I'm just going to step out of the way immediately so you can get a look at the scene that remains. The powerful early morning winds have slammed this 57-foot spruce tree to the ground. The lights were yanked out of their sockets and multiple ornaments shattered when they hit the ground. Now, this tree comes from Watauga State Park in Pocahontas County, and it's seen some tough times so far. It was originally slated to arrive last week, but when the movers arrived to pick up the tree, they found that their truck was too small, delaying the delivery until Monday. Now, I did speak to some state Capitol's grounds crew workers who told me that they were worried about the wind speeds last night, but that the only thing that could have prevented the tree from falling was having a smaller tree. Now, they did say that they're hoping to get this tree upright by the end of the day, but if the winds stay this intense, it's simply going to have to wait until it dies down. The Department of Highways will certainly need to get a crane to bring it back up to its feet. We'll keep you updated as the efforts to restore this tree back to its proper place continue. Reporting live from Charleston, Blake DeJarnett, 13 News.
West Virginia. In Jefferson, I'm Jordan Mead for 13 News.
All right, Jordan, thanks so much. History was made in West Virginia's capital city today as Natalie Tennant took the oath to become a Kanawha County Commissioner. This makes her the first woman to serve on the commission in the county's 236-year history. Tennant defeated her Republican opponent, Chris Walters, during the November general election. The commissioner-elect made a speech about her commitment to Kanawha County.
Job. I can do this job because of the economic development and the business development that we did in the Secretary of State's office, obviously the elections part of it, but the energy and the innovation that I knew that I could bring to this office and to this county, and the relationship that I have with the residents, and that's why I decided to run. I'm really looking forward to this. We've got a lot of great things that we'll start working on.
Musical performance by the Capitol High School VIPs brought the spirit of the ceremony to life. Tennant previously served as West Virginia's Secretary of State from 2009 to 2017. That's her daughter right there.
A road in Kanawha County was closed this morning after a crash. Lenz Creek Road was shut down for hours after the crash in Hernshaw. This was around 7:30. No word on the condition of the drivers, but the road was closed for several hours after the crash. No names have been released to us at this time.
Well, we mentioned this yesterday, but we certainly hope that tonight you will join us in sending our best wishes to one of our own, our chief political reporter, Mark Curtis. He is calling it a broadcasting career after 48 years. He has been all across the country covering all sorts of stories and 10 presidents. Today, we are happy to send him off in style. He was even given a key to the city of Charleston today by Mayor Amy Goodwin. And U.S. Congresswoman Carol Miller also talked about his career on the floor of the House. Listen in.
Mark chose to stay and finish his career in West Virginia, and his love of our state and its people shined through his reporting. I am grateful for our friendship, and I have always enjoyed coming on his show to discuss the important issues that are happening in our state and around the country.
He's Marky to all of us, and he will certainly be missed, and we know that you will miss him and his reports as well. A very special day, and we wish him the best as he heads south to Florida now and enjoys retirement. Please relax a little bit too, Mark. Thank you for joining us tonight. Have a good evening. Your news at 6 starts in about a minute.